Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Magius, and welcome back to Beat Saber. So today, I'm going to be showing you something a little bit different. So I found a site called Beat Sage, I believe that's just beatsage.com, I'll put a link in the description there, where they use a neural network AI to create Beat Saber tracks from whatever track that you upload. So it's got a couple of limitations, right? There's only certain difficulties, there are only certain, styles. Although part of that is being worked on, right? This is it's a Patreon thing, so if you support them more and more, they will give you more and more tools. They'll work out how to make more and more tools and make the AI even smarter and make better tracks. But until then, I used it to take my tracks that I had written and turn them into tracks. And yeah, so I've got dual saber or no arrows, hard expert, and expert plus. You can also do normal, though, well, normal I just find is too easy. And hard, the AI has a hard time with making it easy, right? It can add a lot of notes to hit a lot of instruments, but it's not necessarily gonna hit, not exciting every time. And we'll start with this one. So with Beachfront Property. Again, these are all my tracks. There's no copyright issues. Whoa. Too many with one hand. Oh my god. I am not left-handed. God, fix the program to do better in this. Oh, my shoulder. Fuck. Okay. Well, that shows some of the weak points of the AI. Sometimes it just starts looping one arm and it's just I don't think it's understanding that that's supposed to be split up between the two hands or just be shorter. Damn. That kind of hurt. Okay, I'm back. And boy, it's more like a rave in here than ever before. I put some Tiger Balm on my shoulders because they were getting a little sore, and it's still early in the workout, so we got to keep going. So, as I was saying, up next, another one of my tracks. This whole thing is going to be all my tracks with the AI and War Assembly. Let's see how you did with that one. Dots of pie were weird. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit better. Yeah, I do love the. I got that good. So as you see, as we go through this, the AI tracks are not quite danceable the way some other tracks are, even though these are based off of human-made tracks. The best, highest rated tracks were used to train the AI how to do these tracks. So let's go Bloody Secret. I believe this one also has one of those kind of ridiculously repeated single arm tracks. So let's hope that we make it through nice and smooth here, right? Oh, and then double down. That's another thing the AI sometimes does, is puts two notes in rapid succession going in the same direction with the same saber. Which is possible. I mean, there's plenty of tracks that have that. But because it's designing it the way it is, it's hard to tell when it's going to come up. Because the patterns, they tend to repeat less. Than in human-made tracks. In human-made tracks, you'll often see that kind of a section of verse will be repeated for the other hand. I missed that one. So you kind of understand what patterns you're getting into. So if there is a double down, you saw it already, and you heard, you can see the pattern and hear the music and see that it's going to be coming up soon. Whereas that last one just kind of came out of nowhere, and you got to pay close attention to make sure you actually see it. But the natural thing on two red notes right back to back is follow the first direction and then go in the opposite direction on the way back. And stuff like that, right? That was 4 going in the same direction. That was weird. Oh, I actually got the sequence. Oh no, it's lost sync. Whoa, what's that? good on that one. So, speaking about patterns, and yeah, humans tend to come back to it probably because there's a certain satisfying notion of coming back home, it's called in music, where, you know, you have a couple of notes, and then you mess with the order of the notes to build up some tension, and then you come back to those same notes over again later on, right? It's the chorus in the song, right? You've got verse, chorus, verse, chorus. So the verses could each be different, but the chorus brings us all back together, and that's where everybody starts singing, right? So the same idea with these notes going up, down, side to side. You want a recognizable pattern and coming back home and, you know, adding variation to that pattern to keep things interesting. But the AI kind of gets lost in that conversation, right? If you've ever seen two AI talking to each other, right, having a conversation and responding to the last one, as there was a great Twitch or Twitter conversation between AIs a little while ago, and they would always forget what they had just said 2 minutes before, and then the AIs would get into arguments with each other because one would remember and the other one would forget, or they would think that the other one had said that, or they themselves had said it and not the other one. And they weirdly copy each other and lie to each other. So I think that's one thing that's happening in this neural network. Anyways, moving right along. A totally different pace here, and one that I'm quite proud of. Guilty Conscience. What was that? Yeah. That was a blue up into a red up. Okay. and 2 reds pointing in different directions in the same spot. And there was 2 reds occupying the same space, one pointing down, the same there. One pointing left, one pointing diagonally up. Yeah, so this lot falls into the the problem track. So not only did it kind of name these backwards, I think, because it's supposed to be hard on the left and expert on the right, and you can't actually select expert, so I don't know which one is actually being selected. But there was a whole bunch of errors in that track, right? There was all kinds of errors. You saw. So now, one of my remixes. So next up, Spanish Angst. On earth is this? What is this? This is virtual stupidity. that was horrible. What's playing like this? What the hell is playing like this? Bad. Okay, so just to give a little feedback about that AI altogether. So Beat Sage, you're awesome. Keep up the hard work. There's still some hard work to be done though. So on Expert, they turn out for the most part pretty good. There are some problems with quiet moments, especially right at the beginning. There's often lots of nothing. That's not good. That's not fun. Next, there are a lot of times when it's all one arm. It goes on forever with one arm, and almost as though the AI gets itself caught in a loop and just wants to keep doing that loop just over and over and over again. That's also not fun. There are a couple of tracks that I do that have a number of one arm strikes in a row, but it's either the circulars or a couple of quick notes, let's say like 8 notes, and then it switches up, or there's a pause. Next up, with one hand, you can have double hits in the same direction, but you need to be able to see them coming, or it's got to be logical. There's got to be maybe more of a gap between them. You certainly can't have 4 notes back to back so that you can't see them going up, down, up, down, up, up, because you'll never see that the last one is an up, and so you'll always miss it. Next, dots, right? If I say, yeah, include dots, I want to include dots, a couple here and there. It can't be half the friggin' track. Maybe they're a percentile to say it can't be more than 20% of the track can be dots if you say include dots in normal tracks. Also, they can't all be flip side, right? I had one track that almost the entire track, I was like this. And that was no fun at all. And 95% of the notes were dots, and there were arrows in there, so it was not a dot-only level. But it certainly felt that way, and that wasn't cool. I don't know how dancey you guys are that are making it. I mean, obviously you're AI guys, so maybe you're not big on the dancing part, but hey, maybe that's a bad association. So hey, get your dancers out there and try out some of the good tracks out there that have good, grooving parts, especially on Expert, not Expert Plus. Expert Plus seems to be a lot more, wrist action and getting those fast hits. Expert and hard, you can really get grooving with a track. So find those grooving tracks and tell your AI, hey, these parts are really awesome. They need to be in there. But it can't be, oh, this awesome thing is the whole track and is used in 90% of the tracks that come out of you. No, you can't do that either. But anyways, that was a lot of negatives, but I gotta say, you do some good work. There's some cool stuff in there for people who don't want to spend the hours that it takes to create a track and the lighting track that goes along with it. This is an excellent aside, even if we're not going to be, in the competition for it. But thanks. Keep it up. It's just my opinion, and it's about an AI system called Beat Sage here that I've only gone for a couple of tracks on, and I'm using my music. So it's both music that I know intimately well, and music that's not like, the top 40. It's not Tiesto, it's not the normal style of trance and techno and whatever that you're seeing in here. So I'm sure your AI is looking more for traditional stuff and more normal stuff than the way that I mix in 3/4 and 4/4 or some other timings. But anyways, that's enough about that. I've been Magius. This has been Beat Saber and Beat Sage AI created tracks. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll keep bringing you more. But until next time, ciao, folks.